House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in Singapore today, kicking off her Asian tour as questions swirl over a possible stop in Taiwan. Now, that has fueled some tension with Beijing. The Biden administration has discouraged her from visiting Taiwan, but it's still unclear if the House Speaker will make that stop anyway. ABC's Deputy Political Director, Averi Harper, joins me live now for more on this. Averi, what is on Pelosi's agenda for today?
Well, it's important to note that the details of this trip are pretty scant. There are no reporters traveling with the Speaker of the House on this trip, but we do know that she is slated and expected to meet with the President and the Prime Minister of Singapore, also some cabinet members there, and that she is expected to attend a reception of some sort with the American Chamber of Commerce in Singapore.
Now, China's foreign ministry spokesperson is warning the House Speaker against visiting Taiwan. She says that they will, quote, take firm and strong measures to safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. So what exactly does that mean, and what would the implications be of this potential visit?
Well, this really has to do with what's called the One China policy. That is the American stance in that Taiwan believes it's independent. China believes that Taiwan belongs to China. We deal with the Chinese officials diplomatically at this point. And so there are concerns on the part of some of these Chinese leaders that this sort of trip would be a provocative move. Now, earlier today, we heard White House spokesman John Kirby say that this is not a provocative move, that Congress folks have gone to Taiwan, and that Congress folks and every other sort of American leader should be able to go to Taiwan without the threat or being fearful of China's rhetoric on this.
All right. And I want to shift gears a little bit. The Democratic economic package that's focused on climate change and health care is in the final stages, really, of potentially passing Congress. So what's in the bill and what's the status on it right now?
Well, there are a lot of items within this legislation that are really parts of Biden's agenda. Things like investing in green energy and manufacturing, things like including deals so that Medicare can negotiate the price of drugs so they can bring down the cost of prescription drugs. It's also about reforming the tax code, implementing a minimum corporate tax, things that the Biden administration and Democrats more broadly believe will bring down some of those inflationary pressures that we're seeing across the country.
Now, let's talk about that, because the focus of the bill is, for the most part, climate and health care, but they're calling it the Inflation Reduction Act. Is that because they did some poll and realized that that's what would appeal to voters, or what's behind the name of the act?
Well, polling shows us over and over again that inflation is going to be one of the most important issues as voters decide who they're going to cast their ballots for. In terms of this legislation, I think if they would point to the notion of bringing down the cost of prescription drugs, along with gas, along with keeping a roof over your head, Americans have also been enduring the soaring cost of prescription drugs. So that is something that's major that they would point to within this legislation that they said will combat the rising cost of living here in the United States. I think the jury is still out on whether this will have more broad effects on inflation, but I know that Democrats are hoping that it does, because midterms are less than 100 days away now, and again, voters are going to be focused on that as they make their decisions.
The clock is ticking. Averi Harper, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.